Kia ora. The purpose of this Pilates video is to help you learn the Pilates style of breathing that underpins all of our exercises. And this style of breath is really an exercise unto itself. We engage the muscles of our deep core, our transverse abdominals. We work with the diaphragm, the muscles that support breathing beneath the lungs, and then the muscles in the pelvic floor that form the bottom of this internal canister. So let's begin by coming onto our backs. You can get yourself comfy while you do this. Knees are bent, feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to use a bunch of different terms to help you here, or different ways of feeling for engagement in your muscles, and I want you to notice the terminology that rings true for you and that helps you to feel these internal muscles working. And then go with that one each time that you're doing the Pilates practice. So on our backs, this comfy position, we put our hands onto our rib cage, fingertips coming in towards the midline, heels of the palms feeling around the outside of the rib cage. And let's first breathe in and work on flaring the rib cage out from the midline of the body during that inhalation. And then as we breathe out, we feel the contrast. The rib cage pulls in towards the midline. You might feel beneath the palms that the fingertips are gently drawing apart from one another on the in-breath, and then that the fingertips are drawing back in towards one another on the out-breath. And then let's notice the lift upwards of the diaphragm. So the rib cage on the inhalation breath, you might feel it gently drawing up away from the corners of your hips. You might also notice just a slight rise of the low back from the mat or from wherever you're laying. In contrast, when we exhale, the rib cage gently draws down towards your hip corners. The breath is coming in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's next focus on a deeper engagement of our transverse abdominals. So inhalation breath, we feel the sensation that the belly is filling with breath. On your exhalation breath, belly button pulls down to the back of the spine. Really knit those abdominals in. Make sure that your exhalation is getting you completely empty of breath. Some people identify with the sensation of putting on an abdominal belly belt that wraps around all of your internal organs. Some people identify with imagining that they were about to be punched in the belly, maybe by an enthusiastic toddler. Maybe I'm speaking from some experience here. And then let's add on the sensation of pelvic floor engagement. We're going to leave aside everything else for the time being, just so that we can focus on just this pelvic floor. Inhalation breath. I want you to feel that your pelvic floor is soft, relaxed, that sensation when you're letting go of a weave you've been holding onto one for a long time. Exhalation breath. We contrast that. We engage our pelvic floor. We imagine that we need to stop a flow of weave. We were busting, or midstream even. Some people identify with the sensation of trying to lift your urethra up towards your belly button. For some people, it helps to think of the pelvic floor working like an elevator, and it's lifting upwards towards the diaphragm, towards the rib cage. Now let's try and add this harmony between these sensations. So inhalation breath, a balloon inflating, soft pelvic floor, ribcage expanding, belly lifting upwards. Exhalation breath, the opposite of that. Balloon deflates, belly button to the back of the spine, pelvic floor switched on, ribcage knits into the midline. That is everything that we need to work with, as Joseph Pilates coined it, this powerhouse that we have, these internal muscular structures. And as you come into Pilates exercises, we want to use that exhalation breath as a trigger for movement. So it happens first, and then we add movement. Let's just have one go at that now. Inhalation breath. Exhalation breath. Push your low back into the surface that you're laying on, and then lift your right leg, shin bone parallel to the ceiling. Inhalation breath through the nose as the leg comes back down. Exhalation breath out the mouth. Left leg lifts. Inhalation breath through the nose. Left leg lowers. Exhalation breath. Right leg lifts. Low back is pushed to the surface you're laying on. Inhalation through the nose. Right leg lowers. Exhalation breath. Powerhouse engaged, including pelvic floor. Left leg lifts. Inhale through the nose. Left leg lowers. One more each leg. Then let's just have a go at a little bit of a slide up of our palms on the front of our thighs, working out upper abdominals. Inhalation breath through the nose. Exhalation breath. Low back is either imprinted or a little arched from the mat for neutral pelvis. Peel head, neck and shoulders up. Inhale through the nose. Coming back down. Sliding up. And down. Keep the neck neutral, imagine a piece of fruit between chin and chest. Ribcage pulls to the hips with transverse abdominals engaged. Last one. And let the legs stretch out, take the arms up overhead. So that type of breathing, we don't want in our everyday life for it to be that noisy and that powerful, but we do want to look into our subconscious rhythm of breathing. So let's practice just some softer versions now. We can relax, arms wherever you like them, legs positioned however you like them, and let's just focus on a lovely inhalation. That includes a rise of the belly, and then an exhalation, the fall of the belly through the nose or the mouth. A couple more rounds here, just relaxing, concluding the breathwork practice.